Anna Kasparian just completely goes off and crazy on Matt Walsh for making a valid point. There's some debate here, so I kind of see both sides. So make sure you stay tuned to hear my thoughts. Make sure you like today's video. Subscribe to my channel. I post 2 new videos every single day, and we'll get right into it.
On the sick day thing and this will be unpopular with especially with younger people, but you shouldn't be using sick days.
You should definitely be using sick days. Do not come to work and spread your disease and make me sick. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you should probably get better. You shouldn't be in the office. Stay home. Don't listen to Matt Walsh. Now that was just a quick tease of Matt Walsh bravely standing up for the cause of literally showing up to work sick and spreading your germs to all your coworkers, something that I'm sure people would not appreciate. And we'll get to more of Walsh's rant in a minute, but first some context. So on yesterday's episode of the aptly named Matt Walsh Show, he discussed
She thinks she's so quirky there. So quirky. By the way, let me just give you my thoughts right now. So I see both sides. I understand why she's saying, don't come into work, don't get me sick. I get it. I totally get it. If you're sick and we're in an office, I don't want you to come in and get me sick. Obviously, stay the F home. However, and this is the point that I think Matt Walsh is actually trying to make, it's that the younger generation, they are lazy, useless pieces of garbage. Every day, oh, I have a migraine, I have a stomach bug, I have this, I have that. It's like an excuse every freaking day. How many times are you going to call out? I'm lucky enough to not have to work besides like filming videos, which I like to do for fun because my husband provides for the family. But when I did work before I got married, I never called out. Literally not once. Not even once in my entire life because I'm there to work. I don't get paid sick days either. It's like, what, you're going to pay me to stay home and be sick and not work? It quite literally does not make sense to me. So I think Matt Walsh is just pushing back on the whole Gen Z, lazy, I'm sick, calling out of work culture. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
Recent survey showing that many hiring managers are deeply unimpressed with Gen Z workers, okay? So from intelligent.com, they report that nearly 2/3, 65% of hiring managers surveyed believe that recent college graduates are entitled, and 63% think they get offended too easily. I'm not saying
True college students, oh my gosh, college graduates are the most entitled people ever. They think that they know everything, their degree means something, and they're just lazy. They are people that just work straight out of high school. They have the strong work ethic. And yes, when you go to college, you're brainwashed into being a little crybaby woke R word. Okay? So yeah, it does make sense as to why companies would kind of, push back against college graduates.
I'm not saying I agree with that last part, but I'm saying I agree with that last part. Additionally, more than half, 55%, believe they lack a work ethic, and 54% say they don't respond well to feedback. Similarly, 53% feel that Gen Z college graduates are unprepared for the workforce and believe they have poor communication skills. Now, those numbers clearly are pretty bad, not good, but according to that same survey, most hiring managers aren't gonna stop hiring Gen Z anytime soon. So 1/4 of hiring managers say they would feel extremely enthusiastic about hiring a recent college graduate for an entry-level position. These polls are ridiculous, like honestly. Like, how do you go from saying like, oh, Gen Z are the worst workers, can't stand them, super entitled, they get offended too easily, but I'm super enthused about hiring them. Like, there's always contradictions like that in polling. It's amazing.
I mean, she does have a fair point there. It's like, okay, do they suck or are you enthusiastic to hire them? Pick one, bitch.
But just to read the rest of it to you, they also say 34% would feel somewhat enthusiastic, about 25% feel neutral, while only 13% are somewhat hesitant and 4% are extremely hesitant. So that's the background before we get to the rest of what Matt Walsh has to say. But I do want to allow you to jump in real quick, John. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, my overall thought is I love this story because it perfectly
Like, who are you and why do you have a gay voice?
encapsulates what the point of the so-called independent right-wing media is. It's to do exactly what is in there. It is to sell a message that if you don't to think too deeply about it, it's about like manhood and being like tough and not being woke or whatever. Like just just go to work if you're sick or whatever. But what is that actually? It's don't ever cost your employer any money.
Exactly.
Don't
Yeah.
don't take any time off. You be there. Be a good drone. Bow.
I mean, kind of like, why would I want to hire someone that's going to cost me money? That doesn't make sense as a business owner. Tell me, please explain to me why that makes sense.
Down to be a man, to be an
Yeah.
alpha. You should never. And so
Or to be a good employee that's not a little complaining, excuse-making bitch.
they're constantly selling something with the wrapper of toughness or being an alpha.
How is showing up to work mean you're trying to be alpha or tough? Like, what are you talking about?
The message is given to you by corporate America. It is to be a good cog in the machine. And they will, you can see that in how they take any opportunity to fake attack corporations, to attack corporations viciously in a way that does not pose any harm whatsoever to the corporations. Like
Yeah.
they will rant about DEI programs in corporations. The corporations don't care about their DEI programs. They'd prefer to not have to spend money on that. But what does that commentator think the corporate tax rate should be? Like,
Yeah.
they're like, we're going to take down these corporations and they should pay no taxes whatsoever. And there should be no regulations whatsoever. But aren't they woke? It's like
So
selling the anti-wokeness so that you can do the bidding of corporate America.
that is exactly right. I mean, you put it so perfectly. I feel like it's useless to even do the rest of the story, but we will.
Yeah, bitch, shut up. Oh, now she won't. Come on.
We will. So during Matt Walsh's show, he's discussing this survey, which also found that, Gen Z workers are more likely to do the right thing in using their sick days. Older counterparts less likely. And so that led to this bizarre rant.
You shouldn't be using sick days. Okay, I've used sick days maybe twice in 7 years, and in both of those cases, because I lost my voice and I couldn't speak. You can't blame me for that. It's impossible to do a podcast when you can't speak. And even then, and anyone who has been watching the show for a while, you know this. I still came into the office and recorded a video with subtitles when I lost my voice, if you recall. But generally speaking, again, I know this is unpopular, but sick days are for children, okay? They're for kids in school who are trying to stay home so they don't have to take a test that day. Like
Yep.
with rare.
Yes, exactly. It's overused and abused. It's not just about, oh, they're actually sick. No. Younger kids constantly are saying that they're sick to get out of doing things they don't want to do or are not prepared to do. He's exactly correct.
Exception, taking a sick day as an adult should be pretty embarrassing for you. Calling your boss and saying, sorry, I can't come in today, my tummy hurts, is humiliating.
Yep.
You need to be at work, okay? Adults don't have time to be sick.
Hey, don't scroll away.
Oh my gosh. And now there's an ad. You know what? We're just going to end this here because he said it perfectly. Gen Z, the younger kids, they're lazy, they're entitled, little spoiled, woke brats. And I'm sick of it. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.